Hello, everyone. Welcome to Concept Nova's webinar on how to extend your vehicle lifespan, reduce maintenance costs, and enforce better driving habits in 2021. My name is Adela Boy, and with me here is Rahimat Ojerumi. We'll be taking you on this journey through Concept Nova's advanced driver profiling solution. Please note that the Q&A section of the Zoom meeting can be used to log your questions if you have any questions during the webinar, and all questions will be answered immediately after the webinar. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Raima Ojomi. Our company, Concept Nova, is a subsidiary of the Concept Group, Africa's fastest growing IT solutions company that specializes in asset management, business intelligence, vehicle tracking, remote monitoring, amongst others. We've been in business for over 30 years, and in those years, we've won several awards, which include Best IT Fleet Management Product Award in 2012, as well as Best Use of Technology in Fleet Management and Logistics in 2019, amongst others. Here's a short video describing what we do at Concept Nova. Please sit back and watch. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Now, the year 2020 was a challenging one for businesses worldwide and for the global economy. This harsh reality has necessitated a more prudent approach to managing operating expenses. Fleet management is an area that requires an optimized monitoring system, especially in the control of driving habits. It is therefore pertinent to every organization's profitability to use technology to objectively assess, grade, and provide feedback to drivers and decision makers. As a company driven by continuous improvement and innovation, we have developed a solution to help businesses counter this challenge. Concept Nova's ProDrive is a robust web-based driver analytics, feedback, and reward solution developed to monitor and enforce safer driving behavior across fleets of vehicles. With our solution, organizations are able to monitor bad driving habits that typically exhaust operating expenses for every organization. The solution is made up of a remote monitoring hardware that detects harsh driving, combined with a cutting-edge web platform that carries out trend analysis of driver behavior and vehicle usage. Please sit back once again and watch a brief video providing more information on the ProDrive.
Do you value the way your vehicles are used? If yes, you are wise and are not alone. If not, here are some of the reasons you should. Significant cost savings by guaranteeing your vehicle lifespan lasts longer. Significant cost savings on maintenance and repair costs. Reduced downtime of your vehicles and protection of company image, amongst others. Running any business is a big deal. As a business owner or manager with a fleet, you know that maintenance and repair costs are recurrent operational expenses that constantly put a strain on the bottom line. Struggling to cope with these expenses and asset wear and tear challenges, many businesses are on a journey to figure out how to drive a better business, assess their drivers, and extend the lifespan of their fleet 24/7. In response to these challenges, Concept Nova, Africa's leading technology solutions provider, developed ProDrive, an economically priced driver assessment and profiling solution that assesses and enforces better driving habits and vehicle usage, reduces maintenance and accidents cost, and extends assets lifespan by at least 3 years or more. ProDrive is great value for money. As an illustration, a vehicle valued at 12 million naira will see savings of 6 million naira. Our illustrated vehicle, having an average useful lifespan of 6 years, will give a 2 million naira annual cost spread. With ProDrive, lifespan will be increased by at least 3 years. Ultimately, you save 2 million naira annually on replacement cost for the 3 extra years. On average, the vehicle will incur at least 800,000 naira annually on maintenance, replacement, and operation cost. With ProDrive, maintenance, replacement, and operation cost will be reduced by over 15%, according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, translating to cost saving of 120,000 naira annually. A savings of 2.12 million naira is guaranteed for 3 years, which gives a total of 6.36 million naira. Even lower priced vehicles of about 3 million naira will see savings of 1.7 million naira. This in-vehicle monitoring solution, IVMS, operates an integrated process that helps businesses detect, assess, notify, improve, and optimize their fleet operations. Here's how it works. ProDrive strategically captures driving violations that occur in your vehicle while commuting. These violations range from overspeeding, harsh acceleration, harsh braking, harsh cornering, and excessive idling. Using advanced algorithms, these violations occurrences are analyzed, driver habits are calculated, scorecards are generated, and grades are allocated. Based on these assessments, scorecards and grades are sent as SMS and email notifications to drivers. Decision makers also receive these scorecard notifications and use them as a yardstick to either reward or reprimand drivers. Ultimately, this process allocates the remaining useful life of your fleet, keeps your drivers safe, and reduces maintenance and accident costs. Do you want to improve business performance while assessing driving habits? With ProDrive's comprehensive driver profiling solution, you can achieve both. After all, safer drivers having fewer violations means lesser cost and more profit. So, what are you waiting for? Get ProDrive today and start creating your own business journey, free from risk exposure, and deliver tangible business benefits to your bottom line. Be smarter than the others with ProDrive.
Thank you for watching. Now, research shows that most companies spend more than 35% of their operating cost on vehicle maintenance. This cost is largely due to careless driving, which could have been avoided. It has also been observed that aggressive driving is responsible for the wear and tear seen in a lot of vehicles. Every hour a vehicle spends idling is equivalent to approximately 40 kilometers of driving. Now, idling is a situation where the vehicle engine is running and the vehicle is not moving. Reckless driving has also been seen to account for 15% increase in fuel consumption of every vehicle. These factors combined together are a definite reason for a decrease in the remaining useful life of any vehicle. The Concept Nova team had carried out research on driving habits, and we observed that 5 prominent parameters are responsible for this. These parameters are harsh acceleration, harsh braking, harsh cornering, overspeeding, and idling. It was therefore observed that to improve driving habits, it was necessary to monitor all of these parameters combined. The ProDrive solution is achieved by first using sensors and accelerometers to detect these hash driving parameters. With data analysis algorithms, our web platform captures the information and carries out an assessment of driving habits. This assessment is used to create a driver's scorecard detailing drivers' performance and vehicle usage in order to inform decisions such as rewards for good driving behavior and penalties for poor driving habits and vehicle usage. This way, decision makers are able to optimize their fleet operations by reducing their maintenance and replacement costs. Now, the ProDrive is a unique solution in that it was developed following extensive research and development. Now, the hash driving parameters are usually captured by a telematics device, and these telematics devices have been tested extensively by our team in-house. They've been tested in the field, they've been tested on the bench. Now, the devices make use of a 3-axis accelerometer, which calculates the amount of force typically exerted on a vehicle while driving. This force can go up or go down depending on the amount of aggression the driver uses in his driving. Now, the values are processed using our cutting-edge data analytics platform. And the ProDrive solution was then developed after considerable testing and observations of eco-driving and safe driving styles used in other countries such as Australia, Canada, amongst others. Now, this was compared with the state of the roads in Nigeria, the infrastructure available, as well as other data necessary to make informed decisions. Our implementation team is equipped with superior technical expertise that is required to capture the accurate readings necessary for these parameters. Now, the ProDrive is a valuable resource to have in every organization because it helps to save costs by ensuring a significant extension of your vehicle lifespan by at least 3 years. It also helps to reduce maintenance and repair costs by at least 15%. It improves operational efficiency as assets do not break down often to affect operational activities. With drivers ensuring safe driving, vehicle downtime is greatly reduced. Now, the after-use value of your assets is also increased since the assets are assured of being in good condition at the point of disposal. The features of the solution include driver identification, which allows you monitor your drivers across multiple vehicles. Driver analysis, which allows you monitor driver maneuvers and events. These are collated using all of the parameters previously explained. Driver scoring, which allows you challenge your drivers to enable them improve their scores and improve their driver behavior. Driver behavior reporting, which provides insights into the overall vehicle usage and driver trends, as well as ranking of your drivers. Comprehensive driving history, which allows you keep track of your driver behavior, regardless of how many vehicles that the drivers have used. Proactive objective feedback, which allows drivers improve their performance based on the feedback provided by the system, letting them know that they need to improve on their existing performance, and letting them know when their performance is extremely deterrent to the usage of the vehicle. Rewards are also available, and these are implemented with incentives, deductions, and rankings that encourages safe driving amongst your drivers.
Our solution offers a variety of benefits, such as ensuring road accidents due to recklessness and bad driving are reduced greatly, increasing the safety of passengers, providing extensive analysis to help businesses in their decision making, managing and validating driver performance, and many more. Our safe and efficient driver behavior solution helps you save costs and significantly reduce accidents by prompting drivers on their bad driving habits and necessary recommendations to help them improve. It also informs business decision makers on driver performance, ranking, as well as scorecards which gives them insights into how their drivers are using their vehicles. It gives an avenue to reward or reprimand drivers, thereby encouraging safe driving. All this, along with the other features of our advanced profiling solution, results in increase in vehicle lifespan by at least 3 years, a reduction in maintenance and repair costs by at least 15%, and reduced occurrence of accidents. As seen in the previous video showing you how the ProDrive solution works, for a vehicle valued at 12 million, we can see the difference between manual or poor usage when attention is not paid to curtailing rash driving behaviors. This means that the number of years set out for operating the asset will be greatly reduced. As a business owner, you'd also continually incur unnecessary and avoidable maintenance costs on your assets. But with the ProDrive solution that cautions bad driving habits and overall improves the usage of your assets, you can be assured of cost saving on maintenance and an increase in the useful life of all your vehicles of various brands and value. This ultimately means that you do not have to spend so much money on acquisition of vehicles. A core feature of our ProDrive solution is the driver scorecard that shows a breakdown of the analysis of scores, grades, different ash braking, ash acceleration, ash cornering, overspeeding, and idling counts of various drivers. These counts are computed by our algorithm to give the overall score and grades for your drivers across board. Another feature or report from our platform is the driver's performance trend that gives a summary report of the progression of the performance of your drivers over a period of time. So we can see here that for a driver that started out with a very low score at the beginning of the year, after so many months of the introduction of the ProDrive solution, his score has drastically increased. And we can see the progression in terms of the growth. And this is what translates into how your vehicles are used, the amount of money that you spend on maintaining the assets, because we can see here that it scores in terms of ash acceleration, ash cornering, braking, overspeeding, and idling would have been reduced greatly, which means you don't have to necessarily spend so much money on changing parts of your assets. And it means that the lifespan of your assets is going to be increased. In terms of notifications, our system sends in prompt and monthly scheduled notifications to decision makers, which keeps them abreast of necessary reports about their drivers' performances across board. Also, drivers get SMS notifications or email notifications, whichever one is more preferable, alerting them of their performance for a particular month relative to the previous month, and they also see their grades in terms of their performance. Another key part of the SMS is to ensure that they are aware of the necessary ash driving parameters that they need to work on. For instance, here we can see that for this particular driver, for December 2019, his highest violations were acceleration and overspeeding. This informs him that he needs to ensure that his count of acceleration and overspeeding reduces. And we know that when individuals, in this case, when drivers know that they are being monitored, they tend to behave better because they would not want to keep getting results that are low, which means that the organization will probably reprimand him or deduct from his salary or any other organization policy that had been sent for the company for penalty. Thank you very much for staying with us through the webinar so far. We are going to be moving on to the demo presentation where we actually show you how our platform works. Thank you again. So on first login to our platform, the first step is to set up the account. And I'm going to just move through that to show the core features of our driver advanced profiling solution. So we'll set up the drivers. Set up assessment types to grade the drivers. Set up grading standards. Set notifications for both drivers and then admin. Set reward standards for drivers in terms of bonuses or penalties. And this brings us to the dashboard of the ProDrive solution. So our dashboard gives you key insights into what you need to see, the necessary information that you need to take note of in terms of your driver performance for a period of time. So we have here a rank of your best performing drivers for the week, rank for worst performing drivers for the week, an overview of your drivers. So for an organization that has vehicles and drivers ranging from 5 to 5,000, it is going to be quite cumbersome and difficult for you to keep an eye on all of your drivers in terms of their performances. So what we have put here in this solution is a rank that just gives you the best performing, like at a glance, you get to see the best performing drivers for the week. You get to see the ones that the worst performing drivers. You also see an overview of a percentage of the drivers that are no risk drivers, low risk drivers, medium risk drivers, medium high risk drivers, and then your high risk drivers. All of this gives you information on the percentage of your drivers that are actually efficient, that are using your assets efficiently, and the ones that would probably require to be reprimanded or sent for further training. Because the way your vehicles are used actually translates to the amount of money that you spend in maintaining them or in acquiring new vehicles. So for you to be able to effectively ensure that the utilization of your assets is top-notch, you actually have to be in check with the people that actually use your vehicles, which are your drivers. Aside from the drivers, you also get an overview of the violation trends on your assets, which shows you basically the parameters that have actually been costing you a lot more money. So we have here the trend for ash acceleration, showing you month by month how much of ash acceleration your drivers accrued over a period of time. You can also see here for ash braking. You can see for ash cornering, excessive idling, as well as overspeeding. So when there is actually a reduction over a period of time, it not only tells on the usage of your assets, it also tells on the amount of money that you're spending. For instance, with excessive idling, you have probably noticed that you have been incurring a lot of cost on fueling your assets. Because for assets that are not in motion and then they are on, maybe the driver is using a lot of AC when it's not even in motion, it means that you spend a lot more on fueling your assets. And these are part of the things that contribute to how much money you spend on maintaining your assets. Also, in terms of accidents, when you have very high count of overspeeding or ash acceleration or combined, you understand that your drivers have been overspeeding too much, and this is probably why you have been spending so much money on your insurance premiums in terms of cost of repairs and other things, accident costs. So I'll be taking us through the core features that have been mentioned earlier, which is the driver scorecard. So I mentioned that our ProDrive solution uses an advanced algorithm to actually capture, once the ASH parameters have been captured during motion, our algorithm computes this to actually score and rank the drivers. So for a period of time, you can actually see a list of all of your drivers. This could be as high as 5,000 drivers, as many as possible. So you can see a list of all of your drivers, the assets that they drove at, that was assigned to them at certain periods of time, the account of ASH acceleration, ASH braking, ASH cornering, excessive idling, and overspeeding. Another key part is for drivers that cover for drivers that move for longer hours, that have high mileage, our system takes into cognizance that it is very possible that they would have more counts of ASH acceleration than somebody that goes for instance here, 99 kilometers compared to someone that covered 209 kilometers. So all of these are what our system uses to actually compute the overall score for your drivers. So we also know that for different organizations with different policies, it is very possible for you to have vehicles of different that fall into different categories. Your more expensive vehicles could be your executive vehicles. You could have other assets that are your pool vehicles, and based on that, we have created different assessment types for this. So on the right here, you can see a legend of the assessment types that comes default with the system. Balanced interest, that just considers all of the equal weightings for all of the ASH parameters. Accident preventive, that ensures that it actually takes into cognizance the parameters that are more inclined to causing accidents. We also have the car damage preventive, passenger comfort, and passenger comfort with AC. So using these assessment types, our system actually computes and scores the drivers based on their performance over a period of time. So here we're looking at a report for the last 7 days. You can also filter by date range to see for different durations of time. You can go as far back as 5 months ago. For the last quarter, you can see a report for a quarter. You can see as far back as a year. While we have the driver scorecard, we also have the vehicle scorecards that scores drivers based on the assets that they have driven. So you get to see all of the drivers that drove the assets, and then you see their overall scoring, just as with the driver scorecard. To have more insight into specific drivers, our system also gives you the avenue to actually see summary reports on your drivers. For instance, on this platform here, we have this driver, and by filtering by date to actually see the performance of the driver for instance, the last 7 days, you can see here that Feinti has covered 153 kilometers, and he has no ASH acceleration count, 1 ASH braking count, no cornering, overspeeding, and excessive idling. This translates that you can see that overspeeding is top on his list of things that he needs to work on, for all parameters that he needs to work on to ensure that he actually drives better. And it is also very possible that with this driver, you have noticed that his vehicle comes back with scratches that you have to take back to the maintenance shops for maybe panel beating and the likes due to accidents. You also get to see for multiple drivers. For instance, you can click here on another driver to also get a summary report on the driver. You can also filter by date range to see for as far back as possible on the platform. Other reports that we have on specific drivers also includes the performance trend, as was mentioned earlier in the presentation. This performance trend shows you a progression of how your driver has performed over a period of time. We can see here that for this driver, at the very beginning of the use of the solution, his score was at 0. It means that at that point, it was occurring a lot of count of ash acceleration, ash braking, cornering, idling, and all the other parameters. And then for until the fourth month, his score was still very low. And then over time, with the notifications that he had been getting about how the solution actually scored him, his grade, and then the necessary things to actually work on, we can see here that there is an increase month by month. So finally here we have for December with a score of 53 when he was coming from all the way from 0. You can also see this for the other drivers. Here we have this driver. This driver too, that at April, when he started getting notifications and possible rewards from his organization, that actually encourages him to drive better. His score also increased over time. This was also evident in the on the dashboard, where we actually saw that some of the parameters actually reduced greatly over a period of time, which means that the usage of the assets actually went down as for some months when ProDrive had actually been in use and the system had been running for them. By getting all of this information about your drivers, aside from you tracking your assets and getting and seeing the location of your assets and giving tracks of your assets, a very core part of the management of your assets are the individuals that actually use your assets, because this translates to all of the money that you spend on changing parts of your vehicle or actually replacing the vehicle. We all know that even now that the economy, as with COVID-19 and how the economy and the recession has actually hit us now, and even foreign exchange, the cost of acquiring all of these assets have greatly increased, which means that every organization is going to be trying so hard, is actually trying so hard to reduce their operational expenses. So when you have drivers, when you have a very large percentage of drivers that falls in the high risk range, they know that there is actually a problem in the management of your assets. The goal is to have the largest percentage of your drivers in the no risk category, meaning that the usage of your assets is actually really good. Also, I spoke about the notifications to drivers, because the thing here is they have to be informed. It is when they are informed and they know that they are actually being monitored, and they know that there is a possible penalty or there is a certain reward, or in terms of, it could be monetary, it could be monetary, it could be in terms of other ways that organization believes that they would actually implement rewards for their staff. They are more encouraged to actually drive better and behave better behind the wheel. So we have here notifications. So this feature is in two parts. We have the driver feedback and we have the admin reports. So for your driver feedback, you get to send notifications for different periods. It could be weekly, monthly, or quarterly notifications to your drivers of their performances in form of scorecards. So by entering all of this information and selecting a medium of sending these notifications to your drivers actually get the notifications at the end of the month, telling them that this is their score for the month, this is what they need to work on, necessary recommendations. They actually support them to actually behave better. Another core feature is the reward feature. And although research has shown that many people tend to behave better when they get penalized for their bad behavior, but we have also seen where bonuses also encourage individuals to behave better, and that's the same case with the reward feature for the notification. So for different organizations, depending on your policies and what you want to implement, you can create bonus-based reward or reward-based reward. for your drivers for a period of time, and select the start date, and also activate this to implement a reward system to encourage your drivers. This also helps because you have a rank of the drivers that are performing really well, that are using the vehicles really well. So with all of this, from detecting the hash parameters to assessing the drivers to notifying these decision makers, it could be the fleet manager, the logistics person managing the assets, or it could also be your HR personnel that handles personnel related business. The organization is kept informed and abreast of everything that involves the management of their fleet. That actually translates to them actually spending more money on operating their business. So in terms of assets, managing your assets, our system gives you an avenue to actually have information about all of the assets you have on the platform. As many assets as possible, 5,000, 1,000 assets. You get to also fill in the different categories, which influences the kinds of assessment types that you set for these assets. Also, in terms of the assessment type that I just spoke about, the system comes default with these assessment types, but you also get to, for different assets, you can select the different assessment types that you want for the assets based on the categorization that I've spoken about. So I can change this vehicle here is currently assessed based on balance interest. I can change the assessment type to car damage preventive, for instance. Because we know that many organizations, to actually run efficient, they place a lot of value on their assets, and they actively want to ensure that in terms of car damage, they do not incur a lot of costs. And these assets are actually supposed to be running for them to be able to make necessary profits. So when your assets are constantly going in for corrective maintenance, or they are down because there's something wrong in the vehicle, then it means that the operations are actually altered at some point. So also we have the driver's management model that allows you to have information of all your drivers that you have on the platform. And as I had shown earlier, you can also get more insights on violations history of your drivers, allowing you to know the drivers that are being performing well over a period of time in the performance trend. You can also see the assignment history for all of your drivers over a period of time, and assets that they are currently attached to. Also, by implementing reward for your drivers, here you get to see a list of all of the rewards that are being implemented if they have been for specific drivers. Our research has shown that many organizations of different types, depending on the kinds of operations that they run, they have several different categories of vehicles, different models of vehicle, manufacturers of vehicles, as well as models of vehicle. So we have also put in place a system that allows you to actually categorize your vehicles properly and have necessary documentation for the kinds of vehicle that you're actually using to run your businesses. With all of the reports that are sent in to the stakeholders, the decision makers, as well as the drivers, it would have been really nice if we could actually have somebody in the audience where that would actually confirm that they would get the notifications. But usually notifications are scheduled, so you'd actually have to wait a bit for that. But drivers, as seen in the video earlier and as shown before, the drivers get scheduled notifications at the end of the month or at the end of the week or quarterly. And then decision makers too, after creating the notification types, they also get feedback as at when due. For here, we can see here that a driver's feedback was created, and then the start date was October 13, 2020, and that was the same day it was created. So every month, these drivers are going to get the notifications. Also, the admin report was created today, and then it is going to for the next quarters in the next year, they keep getting reports on their drivers' performance across board. All of this is what will inform stakeholders and business owners of how their businesses are actually faring, why they have been spending so much money on maintaining their assets, while they've had to change vehicles before the end of the useful life of the vehicle. For assets that you have planned to use for operations for 5 years, you discover that you start using them for 3 years. And even at that third year, they have been in and out of the servicing shop as frequently as possible. You see that you start actually paying so much on acquiring new assets when the ones that you had acquired previously are not even spent as long as they should. Our team of experts have worked thoroughly on this solution to ensure that it brings value to your businesses. Thank you very much for going through the demo presentation with us.
Thank you for sitting with us through the demonstration of the ProDrive platform. Now, here at Concept Nova, we make use of a continuous improvement approach to constantly upgrading our products and services in terms of asset management, remote monitoring, IoT consulting, and many more. We try to ensure that our solutions are customer-centric and they're competitively priced to help your businesses achieve increased ROI and profitability. Now, in the spirit of the holiday season, we'll be offering 5% discount on every sale made from now till the end of December 2020. For more information, please check us out on our social media pages as listed below and call our support line stated here and stated in other marketing materials as well. Thank you for staying with us through this webinar, and we'll be taking questions now. Please, we'll be checking our Q&A section of the Zoom call. If you have any questions, please log them there. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. David Emmanuel has a question. How do the telematics differentiate hash braking due to bad roads and all? Okay, so thank you for your question, Mr. David. As previously mentioned, our team had carried out research using the infrastructure available in Nigeria, using the conditions of the roads to fully understand how our 3-axis accelerometer, which is the sensor that picks, the hash driving, hash acceleration, hash braking parameters. And it's also able to differentiate based on the intensity, the gravity of the activity. So it's able to differentiate whether it's due to a speed bump or a ditch in the road, or actually due to the driver slamming on the brakes. So using the accelerometer, we're able to tell those differences. I hope that answers your question, Mr. David. Thank you again. Omolara Ayode asked, how soon can we see cost savings on using the ProDrive? So as soon as you start using the ProDrive, the savings begin through improved driving performance. Because first of all, your driver's performance will be greatly improved as the minute they start using the solution. And this will be seen in the usage of your vehicle. And the ProDrive delivers immediate cost savings and a positive ROI within the first 2 to 3 months of using the solution. This way, your vehicle usage is reduced. Your vehicle's remaining useful life is also increased. and these are reflected in the cost savings. I hope that answers your question as well. Thank you very much. We truly appreciate your presence at the webinar. Like we mentioned, we are still offering a 5% discount on every sale made for the ProDrive from now till the end of December 2020. For more information, you can reach out to us using the lines listed here, as well as our social media pages listed above. Thank you so much for attending. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.